Hey, happy Capricorn new moon. The last weekend of 2024. So this is definitely, especially with Mars retrograde. I believe Capricorn or Mars is exalted in Capricorn. So this is, especially as Mars is retrograding back into its sister sign, Cancer, right? The mother and father archetype of the zodiac. This is Saturn in the moon, so understanding how to use your emotions, how to understand emotions, and how to use yours. Use yours to feel your steps, but making sure that you find peace in it, like it's healthy moves, right? Healthy moves. And healthy looks different for everybody, but as long as it keeps you ascending into the highest version of yourself, where you are not doing any harm to yourself or anybody else, that's where we want to be. Like, things that'll actually help us expand, especially because, Capricorn is the devil card in tarot. And when you think of Lucifer, morning star, like they know things, like intelligence. I don't want to say, yes, it is knowledge, words, knowledge. That's what I want to say. So it can enlighten you to things that maybe you didn't want to be enlightened to, but that you must be enlightened to in order to actually move here on this earth, in a way where, you can stay upright, right? Being nobody's fool. So even if they think you are, right. Never let them know your next move. You don't know who's watching. Be low key. You never know who's watching. No, but I don't even mean to say that in a way that's like sinister, but this is just like keeping an eye out for yourself, especially if you see the way that people are moving or someone has moved with you, even yourself, like understanding where your movements are coming from. Like that is that's how you are able to expand, because then it's like, well, what am I pulling off of? Am I pulling off of these things that the moon, right? Moon is emotion. It is the moon's day, also Monday. So this is like, where am I actually pulling these emotions from, and like what are the roots of it? How I call upon the honorable, benevolent, elevated, most high creator, the honorable, benevolent, elevated, most high archangel Raphael and Archangel Michael for honesty, truth, clarity, and protection as I channel this message. 3 cards for the collective. What will the new moon in Capricorn energy bring us? I was going on a whole tangent and I decided to pull some cards instead. I don't know. Maybe the message is in the Atlantis. Age of information. Yes. This is like, yes, Mars. And I just said Mars is exalted in Capricorn. So of course you have to understand your own emotions, because that is the first step in understanding other people's emotions, right? Because if you can move off things the way that you do, well, then it's like, well, yeah, the other people can move off the way things they do because of things that, because of life. Like 3 cards pop out. At the end of the day, all we are doing is finding ways to cope with reality, right? That's all it is. Like, you are put here on this earth, and yes, of course, tap in with like your ancestors, your people. Like, what are you meant to do here on earth? I'll put this back, but duffel bag boy, what are you meant to do here on earth, and how does that overlap with you finding stability on earth also, right? It is what it is. Shrug. Divine blessings. The roof is on fire. We don't need no water, let the motherfucker burn, right? Mars Mars and Leo. Mars and Leo. You have to understand when to say it is what it is, even if you are feeling things and going through things, because it's like you can't go back. You can't go back. Like, you can't. If something blows up, it blows up. There is no going back because there's nothing to go back to. There's nothing to go back to. You know, like physically, even when you think of fire, Leo is 5. 5 is the fifth one of the zodiac. It is change and it is fixed fire. So this is understanding this is understanding how to control the fire also, right? I'll say that. Controlling like your movements. And understand that everything is really a divine blessing. Like everything, like waking up, you know, being here on earth, being guided, having, you know, and it's always the little things too, like having a roof over your head, having food, having water. Like these are like having gratitude for the simple things. I don't even want to say the simple things, but like the basic things that keep us alive. That is really what it is. And like, how do you get those things also, right? But giving thanks. You must become shapeless, formless like water. Clues in the Akashic record. Tap in, and then this is on a green card. So yes, getting tapped into and string theory. Interesting. I didn't know I had that on the thing. Okay. Oh, there was one hiding up under that. Okay, I'm gonna stop though. They always whisper the truth. Okay, yeah, because this one, we're back to get in your bag, go get one if you ain't got one. But yes, this is understanding. So those also fell out in between sleep paralysis, expand your mind. Too big for your britches. Get home before the street light turns on. Yes. Every action has a reaction, and this is understanding like so also do a cleansing. Oh yeah, I mean, just to even bring in the new year, do a good cleansing, clean your space. Sleep paralysis is on a yellow card, so you know, get you some labradorite, get you some obsidian, get you some black tourmaline. Get you some black tourmaline. Protect yourself as you sleep. That's gonna be very important, especially, I mean, protect your brain. Yes, we are talking about in a physical sense, like I just said, sleep paralysis, like protection things, but also we are talking about like being asleep, like choosing not to see, right? Like letting yourself become numb. You can't let yourself become numb. You have to feel your stuff. And because that is what makes you alive. Having feelings is what makes you alive. Like that's what fuels you. That's really what fuels you. And then the higher you vibe, like the more. And people go through things, but like I said, it is what it is. Like things happen and you can't go back. You can't stay. Sleep paralysis, so like choice paralysis as well. You can't keep overthinking things. You can't go to the past. Like, what if things could be different? Because they're not different, right? Like, this is the reality that we're in. So how do we move forward, choosing better things for us, right? Always uplifting, always elevating, but like the past is the past. And Saturn rules over time as well. So this is like, do better. Like, you can't change the past, but do better going forward so the past doesn't happen again, right? Like, don't repeat the same steps, because then Saturn and the universe, whatever you believe in, God, like the universe will feed you back what you feed into. So if you start staying stuck in cycles that do not help you expand, do not help you grow, like, what are you? And for whatever reason, like Capricorn is, Capricorn it's rough. Like Saturn is rough on anybody who has heavy Capricorn placements, heavy Aquarius placements. Even like if Saturn falls in your first house, you'd be like the ruler of your chart, or not the ruler. I know, yes, but no. Yeah, the chart rulers. I have to look that up again. I forgot how that goes. It's either where Saturn is in your chart. No, it would be so yes, okay, so Saturn in the first house, obviously your chart ruler. But if you're looking for your chart ruler, whatever sign is in your first house, whatever planet that rules over. It's been a minute since I've done chart rulers, but I'm pretty sure that's it. Astro.com if you want to look up your birth chart. I like them because they give the most accurate time. Astro Cafe is decent if you want to use them because they'll give you little snippets. They just might not be as accurate. 3 cards. So how can I call upon the honorable, benevolent, elevated, most high creator for honesty, truth, clarity, and protection as I channel this message. 3 cards. And then also astro.com will just give you a circle chart. There is an option where you can see it broken down, but they'll usually just give you a circle chart. And then you have to Google, which I mean is kind of fun, I guess. My Mercury's in Virgo. I don't mind doing research, but if you don't like doing research, there's ways around it. You can get it read too. How do we, the collective, and anybody who sees this video, how do we move with this energy that the new moon will bring up until the full moon? The full moon will be in Cancer. Yeah, the full moon, hey, bro. No, don't do that. Fun fact, whatever season it is in, that's usually that's what the new moon is in, and then the full moon will be in its sister sign. So, 3 cards. How do we move with this energy? I call upon the honorable, benevolent, elevated, most high creator, the honorable, benevolent, elevated, most high, Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael for honesty, truth, clarity, and protection as I channel this message. 3 cards. Oh, I mean, that's justice, or no, that's not justice, strength. 1 more card. Oh, that was too many. Way too many. The justice card no, that's still not the justice card. Why do I want to keep saying justice? I mean balance, technically, because Saturn is in karma. Chiron just went direct. Chiron is the open wound. It is just things we will never, I don't want to say never heal from, but it's like things that we will always have to deal with, right? And so with Aries being there, with it being in Aries, this is around authority and autonomy, and how it's been challenged, and even how has it been challenged in your life? And so on a global scale, that's why we are seeing a lot of these pushbacks to systems that are supposed to protect us, right? But this is strength. What did I get? Strength and the moon, and that came upside down. I usually don't take reversals. But this is having strength, having the strength to look into the moon. I guess I'll say it that way. Things are going to be revealed, but this is like having 1 more card, having the strength through the unknown. In the Chariot, these are all major cards, major arcana cards. The Chariot. This came upright though. Yes, having the strength to push on even when you don't know what's around the corner. Having the strength and fortitude in self. This Son of Swords, this is the Knight of Swords. And I like the Knight of Swords in this one. because, you know, let me cover up his thing. I don't know why they're naked, but he has like the dove in his hand, and his eye is on the gold. It's on the horizon, right? He has all these accolades at the bottom of his feet already. And this is the Eight of Swords. So yes, this is seeing things with a brand new eyes. Brand new eyes. That's a Paramore album, I think. Or is it that? I think it is. I think it's the one with You Are the Only Exception. It might not be though. But on the Eight of Swords cards in this deck, the birds you see balance. So the birds see what you are doing, right? But they also see what's beyond the wall. And so this is kind of just reiterating. It's like you've already done what you can. Because he does have like roses around his feet and stuff like that. He has roses around his feet. So it's like you've already done what you can with this mindset, and you've already taken things so far. Yeah, the Hierophant underneath it. So it's like it's time to, and this is why I like this Hierophant card, because this is like the primordial waters. And it's taking from 4 different streams. 4 is what? Stability. And so this is like taking from the primordial waters, be like rebirth really, into this higher knowledge. Yeah, man, being rebirthed into this higher knowledge and understanding that you know what you know, you don't know what you, or you know what you know, you don't know what you don't know, and then you don't know what you don't know. You know what you know what you don't know, and then you don't know what you don't know. Words. And these are all at night too. Well, the backgrounds are dark. So, what is this? Strength. She got her stuff out. The Moon and the Chariot. The Strength and the Moon. That's the Leo and Cancer card. Okay, yeah. So movements. Like I was just talking about, especially because, like I was saying, Mars is exalted in Capricorn. And so Strength, I like this because she is, friends with all the animals. It's like all these different animals are resting, this is about surrender. There's even a cardinal in the back. That is cool. But yes, having strength is to surrender. It's kind of like, I don't want to say it's like the Hangman, because it's different than the Hangman, right? The strength is having the empathy and the stability on the inside to know that softness is actually strength. Like having empathy and care is actually what is strength, because it takes a lot to care about someone, especially if they're acting shitty, bro. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to, want better for people, especially if they've done wrong by you. And this is like for this is the micro, yes, people who personally, but this is also like, just like having that strength, because you see things from all perspectives as well. With the moon here, I do like that because she is reflected in the moon. So this is like, always changing, yes, but this is like understanding the moon and like sitting in the darkness enough to find your own light. And I love this because there is what's her name? Every day she swallows the sun and gives birth to it. Every day the sun will rise because she swallows the sun to protect. Yeah. I want to say that's the story, how the story goes. There's that one, and you know, I want to say that's the one. She swallows the sun and gives birth to it every day to keep it protected. So this is understanding the cloak, especially because the Chariot is the Cancer card. So it is having your home on your back and knowing when you need to expand and, like, you know, shift homes a little bit, but like it's still you. Be shapeless, formless like water. That was that other card. This is about expansion. This is about understanding your full potential, and that's scary. Understanding your full potential, even seeing part of it's like, what? I have to hold all of this. And I was wondering, but the Ten of Wands came out. That's where these 3 cards fell out from, right? It was like that. And so this is making your load lighter. Where have you been harboring things that you don't need to harbor anymore? Like, how do we come into the present? How do we come into our bodies? You store trauma. You can store trauma and different emotions in your body. People who are tense all the time. Listen, I got like anxiety, right? Like, I used to be tense. Well, I still can be tense sometimes. Like, I constantly have to remind myself to drop my shoulders, right? And so it can come from, you know, past things of feeling like you had to hold, like that is an example, like past things having to feel like you have to hold all these things, right? And if you let it fall, or if you know, like putting a lot of pressure on yourself to uphold these things because it rides on you, when really it is more of like, how do I work with the universe so that like I am secure in myself instead of these outward things, right? The glory is in you. That's Solange little interlude. Right before Don't Touch My Hair. We don't need to be yelling. What are you yelling for? No, ma'am. But also a message. Sometimes you just gotta get it out. You gotta get it out. You gotta go through it to get through it. So this is also the Chariot. The Chariot is a Cancer card. It is, you know, having emotional intelligence, emotional security, understanding that like how you feel impacts like how what you do in life. Even if you aren't consciously feeling it, you are subconsciously feeling it, right? Because the subconscious is what keeps you breathing, right? That is how your heart beats. That's how you blink, like everything, right? And so these are hardwired. Like it's really like, you know, cognitive behavioral therapy that you have to do. Like you have to, and it's scary and it's uncomfortable because it's like, I have to change everything that I've relied upon to keep me safe. That is that Cancer card. That is the shell, right? Like, it's to keep you safe. Yeah. So this is understanding that you have kept yourself safe, but where has it been to a detriment? Where have you overcorrected a little too much? And how do we get back to that happy medium of letting things flow? Like understanding that nothing is in your control. Like no matter how much you try to, you know, you try to think it is or try to make it be, whatever emotion. And this is also, yes, about like manipulation and stuff like that. You or the outside, it's like manipulation and self-sabotage are like two of the same things, because that's just manipulation to yourself, right? And so this is seeing through it and seeing like the causes of it and being like, well, I can grow. I can do a little better. Right. Right. Even if it's just drinking, like little habits, little things add up to big things, right? So like drinking more water, or journaling if you need to journal, stretching, you know, when something goes wrong, just kind of like breathing through it, taking like really deep breaths, feel your feelings, but like breathing and reminding yourself that like I'm still here. Like the sun will still rise tomorrow and I have to get up, and what will my actions today cause tomorrow and tomorrow and the day after that? Like, you know, this is having foresight and understanding time, and like if you, whatever you pour into will grow. So like, what are you pouring into, and how it's your life. It's your life also. It is your life. Nobody else has a say over it. This is oh no, this is January. Yes. Venus is still in Aquarius, and so what else? Yeah, the Aquarius, what is that? Pluto in Aquarius, and the, what is that? The North Node. The North Node in Aries. The North Node is also in Aries. The North Node is like the northern star. It's like what you need to guide yourself. And they switch, right? I think they switch back into Pisces in the North Node, and the South Node Virgo. Yeah. And so this is like having the having understanding that you have the authority over yourself, and you determine your life, just you, nobody else. And so this is like, well, what are you gonna do with what you've been given? Like, how are you gonna carve out just your section of earth? Like, how are you gonna carve out just your piece here? Like, if you gotta be here for, 80 years or so, 80, 90, 100 years, like, what are you doing? What is the long-term goals? Like, a year goes by really fast, but not fast also not fast, right? And so it's like, are you just still like, even if you are in the same place, like, how else have you grown? Like, what are the ways that you have grown up until now, right? And this is about expansion. The North Node goes into Pisces, and so this is like having the authority over yourself to dream big. And then with the South Node are things we need to leave behind. So that's why a lot of like the fake shit is falling away. Libra is ruled by Venus, that's why I said that. But that is in the South Node right now. And so this is like, understanding where things need to be disrupted in order to bring real balance and real change and like autonomy to everybody, right? And like, this is why a lot of like fake love stuff and like, why did I say fake love? That Drake and Kendrick like, they've been saying 2024 is a year of exposure. And so 2025, so this year is an 8 year, and then the 9 year next year, this is like, well, what did we learn from this? Like, what did we learn after seeing through the illusions, right? And why do I say illusions? Venus, I'm going back to Venus, is also known as Lucifer, or the morning star, right? And so this is like, the devil, Lucifer, however you want to, he knows the Bible. Like, he can talk a really good game, but like when, you go back. So now we're going back. So, back into the South Node, back into Virgo. This is like Ew, excuse me. This is like, well, where are the details? Like, excuse me, the details in the like being real with what they like reality actually looks like, because Saturn is exalted in Libra. And so with like, you know, the South Node going back into Virgo, it's like, where have we deluded ourselves, and where have we I don't want to say that, but where have we not been putting in the details, right? Because the South Node is, or the North Node being in Pisces, this is like dreaming really, really big, but like not actually having like a good routine, habits, you know, searching things, like, you know, doing your own research type shit. Because my Mercury is in Virgo, right? That's why I said that. So, yeah. It's being malleable in everyday life, and understanding that things actually have to change, and having like the authority to change. And so that is why this Mars retrograde is so important, because next year is like, well, now that we know all this stuff, how do we move with it, and how do we move knowing that more things are going to be exposed, like more things are going to just you know, like you're just going to be able to see things, because this is Pluto, age of Aquarius. This is like understanding why people move the way that they do, so that, you know, everybody can come together and live and coexist on this earth. And like understanding when, you know, like I said, everything has a limit. Everything you know, people can't just be out here wilding forever, bro. No, you can't just be out here wilding forever, because you are leaving this legacy of crazy shit. And then it's like, you have to answer to that. That is it's not funny. Psalms 109. That's the energy it's giving. Psalms 109. And let the inequity. Yeah. What is it? Let the inequities of his mother never be forgotten, or something like that. And so this is like, yes, the mother, I mean, yes, we can talk in a very literal sense, but the mother is like, I was just going, look at that, like I was just saying in the beginning, the mother is Cancer. That is like the Cancer archetype. And then the last full moon will be in Cancer. Oh well, the first full moon of next year is in Cancer. On the 13th. The 13th is the divine feminine. Interesting. Mars will be going back into Cancer retrograde the week before. Literally the week before, the 6th. Yeah, interesting. And then Pisces is gonna be in Venus, so this is understanding like where you want your lineage to go. Like, even if you don't have kids, like the legacy, I'll say that your legacy, and understanding how your emotions really fuel that. Like, what are you doing it for? What are you doing life for? What are you building for? You know, because everybody has a purpose. Have you found your purpose? Have you actually looked for it? Have you actually tried to tap into it? Like, what makes you feel whole? Like, what actually brings you life? What actually makes you feel good in, you know, an honorable, benevolent, and elevated way to the best of your ability, right? And so yeah, think outside the box. Understand things are always a lot deeper than that. That's also the North Node in Pisces, which we'll be switching into. Like, things are always much deeper because everything is really complex. Like, even when you look at the society that we live in, it's really complex. Like, like, you know, we have memes. Like, imagine, so it's like, imagine explaining memes to your ancestors, or like people who back in the day, like, you know, didn't you like, things are really complex. We come from a very long lineage of, like, you know, having to physically work the earth to you know, getting things at a grocery store and stuff like that. And like, there's also, it's also like looking at the disconnect too, like, in that sense, like, you know, but also going back to the memes, like, niggas out here fighting for their lives and we're sitting on a phone laughing at the Montgomery brawl. Like, it's layers to it. It's layers to it, right? Right. And so this is not the Montgomery. Okay. Yeah, yes. So always remember to well, take this time to especially with Pisces moving into Venus, and then it's gonna hit that Mars retrograde in Cancer. This is like remembering to move with love, because things are always deeper. No matter how someone is acting to you right now, it is deeper than that. It's way deeper than that, because, you know, even if they did have a fight with somebody, but it's like, it's deeper than that, because why did you have that fight with that person? And where did you see that? How did you even learn how to fight like that? Why am I saying fight? Mars. What Aries and Scorpio are ruled by Mars. Oh, and so this is like, yes. In order to become a god of war, you have to understand that emotions and ego and seeing whose dick is bigger is a part of things. Like, people always have that. Even when we're talking about spirituality, even when we're talking about surrendering, like, I am so peaceful, blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm so peaceful, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's always like a one-upping. There is no one-upping. We are not trying to one-up. We are trying to coexist with each other. We are just trying to figure this shit out by our, like, not by ourselves, but we're just trying to figure this shit out, period. Like, together. Like, there's gotta be a better way. So how can I move in a way that helps uplift you, because I know that's what I would want, type shit. Like, do unto others as you want done unto you. North Node in Pisces 33 energy, Christ consciousness. Yeah, because Pluto is in Aquarius, and Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. So, like, if you bite, someone's gonna bite you back. And I hope, like, you know, I hope you know how to, you know, get out of what you need to get out of. You know, that's also 9 energy. Lessons and trials and tribulation, the wounded warrior. That's the 9 of Wands. But yeah, I hope you have a great new moon. I hope you take this time to sit with yourself and reflect on, you know, how you can make life better for yourself, even in little ways. Like, starting small adds up. But yeah, I hope you have a great New Year's Eve. I hope you are safe. You know, be responsible, be smart, but have fun. Ashe.